Got a lot of feedback from the giveaway. It's gonna be crazy. One of the things is we're just not gonna do merch. We're gonna drop our own line of detail products. Remember years back we collabed with Adams? Well, that was a success, and now with how things are, we really want to specialize in, just like I always mention, having an all-around brand, not just sells parts. So from merch to detail product that actually is good product that we personally use, that you guys could use with your cars or whatever you want, that's coming. Back in my day when I was a kid, before I got into cars, I was big into breakdancing. That was actually pretty good. So one thing we needed was music. And while nobody has these boom boxes no more, you know, this was a thing from the 80s and the 90s. I remember having our boom box and our cardboard or our roll of vinyl, laying it out on the street and get down. It's still cool, you know, you're on the patio hanging out, barbecuing or whatever. We wanted to have something that you could also use in your house. So it kind of joked around, like, why don't we have a boom box? Like, all right, cool. So Garrett knows this company, like, well, I could get these, we could do that, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward, after a couple conversations, we got this puppy. So this thing right here, you could connect to Bluetooth. You could put a mic on it if you want to do karaoke. You could do guitar if you want to plug in your guitar, if you get down with the guitar. I personally don't. It's got a lot of cool features. You can put a USB stick in it with your music on it, and you can just play it. And it gets down, it bumps. I'm not gonna try to play you a sample because you're probably not gonna be able to justify via video. You could just buy one. Whatever you do spend on this also will go to the points for the giveaway. So one of the things we're going. But anyways, let's get to cars. Last video we're showing you guys Ron's STO. Ron's STO is complete. I've been street dialing in traction control, power settings, the way it comes in. It still is rear-wheel drive. It was not converted to all-wheel drive. So these cars do take a little bit more work when setting up for the street because they're rear-wheel drive. So Ron's car does have a set of 18 and 19 rim configuration, made by 1886 with the Toyo Proxy RR in the rear and a Toyo 888 in the front. Since it is rear-wheel drive, I was able to convince him to at least put an 18 on it to put a little bit of better tire. I like the Proxy RR for street driving and everyday driving. It's forgiving. Yeah, let's go. Well, rear-wheel drive plus cold temperature means cold roads. Yep, no fun in that. But the objective is to dial in the car in everyday scenarios, so Ron doesn't jump in it and whack on it on a cool day and it comes out on him. So TC's pretty tight though. Keep TC really, really tight and it should be good. But the downfall with the rear-wheel drive cars is you can't hit them with power up until like 5th, 6th gear, which by that time you're going 130 plus, 120, 130 plus mile an hour, which is fast. F1 driver was singing that when he won?
Science.
Did he get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
If you guys are into F1, comment below your favorite F1 driver. So what I did there when that poll is I shifted it. So if the video of you guys say, you know, it shifted twice, the ECU shifts it, and I shifted it on accident, which I shouldn't have, so I gotta let the ECU shift it. So we'll let the ECU, I'm gonna rip on it in a second. Watch how easy it is to just drive. Mentioning, power doesn't come into like 5th, 6th. So right there in 5th is when I really felt the torque come in. I always recommend 2 hands. I'm just giving you an example of that. When traction control is properly calibrated and set up, the objective for it is to drive itself and to be very smooth. But to keep things safe, we don't have the power come in until 5th gear. So we're gonna go back, review the log, probably make a couple more hits, and put the bumper on it, go over it a couple more times, and sign off and ship it off to wherever Ron is. But we got a couple other things in the shop we're working on. that I want to go over. I know people always comment, where's a Goon Squad R8? Where's a Goon Squad R8? Well, you know, those guys and us always keep in touch. We've had the shop move a couple little things, and so we really haven't had time to finalize, go over it one more time, make sure it's all good before we ship it out to them. So we went over it and we found a couple things that we didn't like. You know, as you guys remember, when we originally got it, we did the transmission, fixed that. But we didn't get into any of the other stuff that needed to happen. So we started to go over it and found some things we'll just show you. So let's get to that. Good old Goon Squad R8. Now, before we begin, to each their own. So things we had to change. We didn't have to change them, you know, but we just wanted it to be up to what we do. We removed the Cybex out of it that was originally installed by the person that originally built the car. Cybex is cool. It's just we are comfortable with, more comfortable with Motec. That's what we know and have, you know, invested lots of time in the past years. When we first started, we actually used Cybex, but we don't use Cybex anymore. Still good hardware though. They keep developing new cool shit.
But why?
Why what?
Why don't you use it?
Why don't we use Cybex? Just because we like Motec, you know. You're trying to trick me into saying something negative, aren't you? Just Motec's the best. I don't know what else to say. I got nothing to say. Motec's the best. So when we do Motec, we install, which for those that haven't heard me say this, but many of you guys have, we've been watching for years. Essentially, we run as 4 map sensors. We run one pre-throttle, one after throttle for each bank. So what David had to do was remove the intake manifold to install vacuum lines to tap into each bank of the manifold. They had Cybex triggering the secondary fuel pump, and so we had to rewire that. With Motec, we use a low side to trigger the fuel pump. However, when the ECU is off, it rests in a ground position. So if I'm using a ground low side, it's going to essentially send a ground signal out. So you have to make sure the 12 volt ignition switch is on an ignition switch. There's multiple ways to wire a relay. So the way they had it wired wasn't wrong. We just had to reconfigure it where when the car was resting, it wasn't triggering the fuel pump. So David had to go digging all through the whole cabin and figure out what all the relays were. They had a relay for the water pump system, secondary system, the boost vacuum lines were not correct. Oh, the crankcase system? You had to redo that?
Yeah, the PV system was just run straight out to the intakes. So it never even looped back into the manifold.
What do you mean? Explain.
So usually when the PV system runs through, it'll run through the rail back into the intakes, right?
Okay.
But they had it just capped off at the bottom, and they had the Y right here just coming straight out into these intakes.
From the valve cover, from the intake manifold? From the valve cover.
From the valve cover. So this Y right here was essentially doing nothing. They just had it cut and then just ran straight out into the turbo intakes.
Well, I mean, it was still kind of doing something though. What they were doing essentially is using the intake's vacuum to pull out of the engine valve cover, theoretically, right? Because that's what the manifold does naturally aspirated. But when we boost them, we have to put a check valve in line. So what they did wasn't actually, is different. They went straight to the turbos. So the turbos are pulling the crankcase from the valve cover. Factory, what it is, it goes behind each throttle body, goes to a Y, then goes to the valve cover right here. Factory's naturally aspirated. So when you apply boost to them, you have to put a check valve in line. So the most common thing that people do is they put a check valve there, so it still operates as it does factory, but then when it sees boost, it won't allow any positive pressure to go to the engine. We keep that, and throughout the years, we've changed things and tried things and continuously tried to find better ways to do it. Now with the big power cars, we're having to keep that and add extra ventilation with extra check valves in different areas to keep pressure out of the crankcase system. What do you think? You think it's gonna turn on? This car does not have a Sheepy turbo kit at all. The only thing that we did was fix the transmission. It doesn't even have my clutch. We just ran through it, changed the parts that were broken, and put a Motec on it. See how it pulls? What the dude? That's not cool. I'm not driving this car anymore. It works. The tune is good. So for all you guys asking about the Goon Squad car, Death Trap Mobile is done. Sending it off to them. Oh, it's all bad. It's like the front goes this way and the back goes. I'm not trying, like, out of all the cars we've driven, I've never had one do that. Now it's got me curious of what kind of like accident it was in. It had to be crazy. That thing is gnarly. When I unload off the gas, like the whole thing just like jumps and twists and tries to go all over the place. I'm not gonna rip on it no more. It works. We're discussing tonight's shenanigans. Drinks on him tonight. Or Nick. Nick, drinks on you?
No.
Why?
Because you always be putting your on tab. What is big?
I always cover the tabs.
No, I've covered it before.
Once and 10 times?
If I get there and you're when I get there and you're already drunk, that's when I'm like, fuck, I'm paying tonight for sure.
Why?
Cause you just don't be paying because you get drunk and bounce and Ryan's
I
like,
always give that fool my card. Don't I?
that one time.
Yeah. Finishing this clutch build for transmission on R8 going to Nicaragua, which we'll talk about next week. We'll vlog with that next week. Do a lot of content. The owner's actually flying in from Nicaragua on Saturday, and he's gonna come to the shop Monday, so it's gonna be fun.
Have you seen that Theo Von clip?
No.
Yeah, my father's from Nicaragua. What? Yeah, Nicaragua, bro. Where my Nick guards at, huh?
So check it out. Today's Friday. In exactly 7 days, when you guys are watching next week's vlog, we will be launching the giveaway. In that due time, and all next week, you'll be seeing a lot of social media stuff, yada, yada, yada. As we speak, we currently have teams printing merchandise, literally 2 shifts, day shift, night shift, printing around the clock. I like to do this drop here bull, but Alonzo never posted, but we're gonna hope he does post a video of some stuff being made. But as you're watching this video, everything's being printed. Why we're doing that is so when it goes live next week and you order that following week, which is before Christmas, y'all could be rocking some Sheepy gear at the Christmas parties or giving Sheepy gear as Christmas gifts. Either way, it's a perfect season. Save your money, don't spend all your money this weekend. Chill out on drinking. Do not listen to me, Nick, and Big Head about our activities this evening. We're really just gonna drink water. We're saving our money too because we want to buy merch.
welcome to Eminence. We're over here printing these hoodies, t-shirts, doing hats, doing embroidery, doing all of it. So you guys could have a gift for somebody or yourself for Christmas. Because this giveaway is starting December 8th and we're gonna have everything ready to ship. So working late nights, early mornings, getting this stuff knocked out. And that way, when the giveaway goes live, Eminence Prime, we're going out same day. Depending on where you at, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, I don't know where you're at in the country or out of the country, but it's ready to ship, good products. Come check it out. We're screen printing right now. So we're working on this hoodie, screen printed front, screen printed back. We got this in t-shirts, hoodies, different colorways. There's gray, powder blue. We got red t-shirts. We got army green t-shirts, white t-shirts. My personal favorite is the red t-shirt. It's like the same color as the car. Buy that shirt, win the car, wear it while you're driving the car, buy it for somebody else, win the car, go pick them up, give them a ride in the car. We're getting it done. Let's go check out next door. We're gonna show you guys where the tags are getting done at. Quick fill-in for the benefit of you guys and to contribute to this giveaway. We told him he's not allowed to leave until all the shirts are tagged because otherwise we can't ship them if they're not tagged. So we didn't have much of a choice. How we doing?
Help me. Anyways, with that being said, I'm wrapping up this vlog. I'm gonna go pick up Hendrix and hang out with my kids. I'll see you guys later.